All right, so episode 39, and we're going to go ahead and dive into Maker's Mark French oaked Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Bada bing, bada boom. This was a gift, so I don't really have a good backstory on why I picked it.
People gave you a lot of alcohol.
I did not pick it. So we'll tear right into this.
What's different with this Maker's Mark than the regular one?
I believe it's the French oaked part.
That's the part of it.
Yeah, Bill Jr. finished this expression with virgin French oak staves for extra wood spice, bolder notes of vanilla and caramel, and a longer finish. It was stave profile number 46 that did the trick, is what it says.
Are you all right down there? What's going on?
She's scratching. Okay. All right. All right.
We just spent first 30 minutes of catching up, just talking about all the bad shit that happens to us when you become an adult. So now we're going to talk about all the fun shit.
That's right. That's right. All right. So you go ahead and get into that. And then before I got so many glasses up here.
You want to do a toast? Is that what you want?
Sure. Well, you can do a toast if you want. That's great.
Oh, this is...
I was just about to say that. I didn't realize it was a
twisty top. Yeah, it's not a cork.
It's a little twisty top.
Topper.
I didn't expect that.
What did we call it? What did we say it was?
I don't know. A cork, plug.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
All right. So while that bottle's making it around, one big thing this week that we'll talk about that's really unrelated to most things that we discuss on the show, but it's kind of big news in pop culture anyway, and we'll talk a little bit about it. But it's the kind of the fiasco with Ticketmaster. Have you read about this at all? The Taylor Swift Ticketmaster,
I was thinking of something different. So
problem?
No, didn't Ticketmaster get acquired by Live Nation? Is this included in this story?
Well, no, I mean, they did. Yeah. So they're all owned by the same person.
Right.
But there's like this huge drama going on about there's obviously Taylor Swift is going back on tour.
Right. She's popping this shit.
Big deal.
Yeah.
And so they've kind of been like hyping up this whole pre-sale thing, and there's a variety of pre-sales.
Mm-hmm.
And basically like the whole world is that's interested in going to the show. That whole like market of people is basically kind of melting down around Ticketmaster because they've really botched the handling of
the tickets,
pre-sale and the tickets and all of that, which is, again, Ticketmaster kind of finds its way into the news pretty regularly nowadays. I feel like more so than it used to. Anyway. Dynamic pricing and all of that. Ticket prices are
ridiculous.
It's
like crazy. It's like going to a show and in the nosebleeds is like $400.
Yeah. So Emily is a really big Taylor Swift fan.
You secured the tickets, didn't you?
I enjoy Taylor Swift a lot. I secured tickets for it.
I saw her post. That was funny.
Yeah. So I had bought merch from the Taylor Swift website at one point. If you had done that, there was like a special pre-sale for you. They gave you this code and then you could get access to tickets a few days before they go on sale. This is not uncommon. Other artists have done this. Yeah.
We see it with what I guess what's comparable is Beyonce. Beyonce comes out, the girls go fucking lunatic.
Sure.
They want all the shit that comes with it. And so same shit.
Yeah. So, and there's a variety of pre-sales for various different things. Like there's one that's for like credit card, like a certain credit card holder.
Oh, like a MasterCard or the Amex, you get the lounge and shit.
Exactly. So anyway, kind of got that all set up to try to buy those tickets. Wind up waiting online. 10 o'clock is when the sale starts, right? So I hop on at 10 o'clock, ready to go, work from home, easy peasy.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah,
sit in a queue, waiting room or whatever until 2:30 p.m.
Jesus
bro.
Christ.
From 10 to 2:30?
Yeah, 2:30 p.m., bro.
Yeah, you didn't have to like refresh the browser?
The whole time. No, so it basically puts you in this queue where you essentially, it just tells you like how many people are roughly in front of you.
Okay.
There's no ETA. You're just waiting.
I did this for a bag for my wife.
Oh, yeah, this is how they do for sneakers.
Yeah. So they're basically like, we hop on and then they give you like anyway, there's like a little progress bar that you're kind of tracking with and following. Yeah. Anyway, needless to say, the whole like website just crashes and basically just like
fuck. Queues are done.
Yeah, queues get paused. Everything's offline. Ticketmaster is on Twitter. They're doing their whole like they're trying to kind of reel it all back in. They're postponing pre-sales. This whole nightmare thing. And then obviously, There's the Taylor Swift subreddit. I'm on that. That's lit up. There's like 47,000 active users.
Pissed.
Then they're just raging. And some people do wind up getting in at a reasonable time, and ticket prices are just absolutely absurd. So there's the dynamic pricing thing, which Ticketmaster does, which you're probably familiar with. It kind of fluctuates. The whole purpose of dynamic pricing was essentially try to accommodate, or basically eliminate rather, scalping of tickets
and bots and
right?
shit,
the idea is like if the prices of the ticket are going to correlate to the demand, then there wouldn't really be scalpers. Like if it's doing that on the front end, like Ticketmaster is just trying to make more money or whatever. But so there's like starting prices for tickets, but all of them very, very absurd. Anyway, I get dropped into the little map or whatever. You get to like pick your seats. I've been waiting all day on that whole thing. Eventually it happens. You know, you're rushing to get your seats and all that kind of nonsense. Was able to secure the tickets at the end of the day.
Congrats.
But seems like the whole, like, I didn't realize, I kind of assumed that a lot of people probably secured tickets, or it wasn't as big. Like I thought like it was just a shitty system and it just took a while, but I kind of figured like a lot of people had gotten tickets. But as it turns out, for whatever reason, apparently most people did not get tickets. And it's been kind of like hellfire around
So
it.
did you go directly through the Ticketmaster site?
So there's a really weird sequence or series of things that you were supposed to do. So in order for you, and like the hoops that you had to jump through are probably a large part of the reason why it
crashed.
ultimately didn't really work all that well. But so in order to kind of get into the first round of pre-sale, you had to have either had tickets to her previous tour, which got canceled due to COVID, or you had to have purchased you had to have purchased items through her store online, merchandise through her store online. And those two things, those two qualifiers had to be associated to the email address that you have your Ticketmaster account set up under. If those two things are not, if those things are not all linked in synchronicity, right? Yeah. Then it kind of breaks it all. You kind of can't. I think there are some ways to maybe reconnect them, but it's a little challenging. Like most people can't.
So breaks the kind of the automation, the computation
correct.
for you.
So fortunately for me, like I had purchased everything from the Taylor Swift website using my main email address and my Ticketmaster email address. All of that is the same thing. So they basically wind up sending you. They text you.
And now your phone number's
They text you, they text you a link, like a unique link, and then they text you a unique code. And they're like, on Tuesday, you can log in at 10. You click on this link at 10 a.m., then use this code, and you can buy your tickets or whatever. And so then this is a very frustrating piece. They didn't tell anybody until after the fact, but you're supposed to open this URL, this unique link on a computer. But at the same time, why did they text everybody this code? Why not email it?
They didn't think that part.
So a lot of people, that's like, part two of this whole series of unfortunate events, right? So everybody kind of botched that. But once let's say you actually get through all that. Let's say that all syncs up for you.
Right.
Even to back up even further, even if you had bought stuff from the website, or even if you had tickets to the prior tour that got canceled, it did not guarantee that you were going to get
tickets.
A pre-sale code.
Okay.
No. It puts you in like a lottery system essentially. So you could possibly get access to the presale.
This is like what Nike
so
did.
I got a presale because they hit you up and they're like, congratulations, you got a presale code. Way to go. Like, and then some people, like we know other people that were trying to do the same thing, and they got like emails that were like, unfortunately, you've been waitlisted. You will not get a presale code.
Damn.
Yeah. So that's first and foremost. And then obviously if everything links up and you, for whatever reason, you open it on your computer, you've, paid I guess you just by luck decided that you were going to do that. I have iMessage on my computer, so easy enough. So you do that, and it doesn't actually check for your code at this point. It just throws you into the queue. So millions of people are just jumping into the queue, and most of them don't have codes.
We're just here. We're just hanging out.
Yeah, so you're just sitting in the queue waiting and waiting and waiting, which is like crashing the system, which seems like a terrible design. Yeah. It seems like you would ask for the code first. If you have the code, then they put you in the queue. So all these people on Reddit are saying how like they're just now realizing that they sat in this queue for 8 hours needlessly. Because when as soon as you get through the queue and get dropped into like the marketplace or whatever, the first thing it does is it prompts you for the code.
Right.
So all these people have been,
sitting here for nothing,
gumming up the works. and crashing the site.
Wasting your life.
Who didn't have codes? Anyway, needless to say, the Ticketmaster fiasco, prices are wild. They're absolutely insane. And then to your point, the dynamic pricing thing did not really work. But to your point, the secondary market is like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Nuts.
Way, 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 way over ticket value. There's people selling tickets for $12,000. And up. Easy.
All of the companies involved are trying to still recoup all of the money lost from COVID.
Yeah.
So that like the inflation on even going to something simple. I think we tried to book tickets for like Disney on Ice.
Yeah.
And like not even like upfront, but like that second 200 level was still like 160.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not doing it. Like, not that I didn't want my kids to experience that, but I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, in my brain, I couldn't comprehend paying that much. My kids are worth that, but I'm just like, I'm not paying at this point. So that's what that's $1,000.
Yeah,
that's $1,000 for us to see 45 minutes of Disney on Ice. You know what I mean?
I think like our generation really values experiences more than previous generations. And I think that everybody has kind of caught up to that, like on the business side of this.
Right.
And so now it's like exorbitant prices for things that did not used to be exorbitant. So, but there's been radio silence, obviously, from Taylor Swift. She's not going to get involved.
I mean, there's no reason for her to get involved.
Yeah. It just seems like something that, I don't know. It seems like maybe the new norm with major artists and major acts. I was trying to think of what was like the most recent, like big show that I went to, and whether or not like the dynamic pricing thing I think is relatively new, but I just didn't know if you had any experience with that.
I haven't been to any live shows that were, what am I talking about? I'm lying. I just went to but I had a hookup, so that didn't count. I didn't have to buy tickets. Actually, all of the stuff now I sound like fucking.
It's all good. What is the most? What's the most you would like? What is your? Let me back up. What is the one show that you want to see that you've not seen? Like, what's like the top tier for you? Top tier. Dead or alive doesn't matter.
Dead or alive.
Yeah, yeah. If you had a chance, like, what's like the thing you want to see?
Can it be any type of setting?
It can be whatever you want.
All right.
It can be anything.
I really want to see if I had a time machine.
Sure.
Whatever I want. Okay.
Yeah.
Or I could just like snap my fingers and they just do it and I'd be there. Okay.
Sure.
I'd want to see Nirvana Unplugged.
Okay.
I'd want to see Prince's Purple Rain tour.
Yeah.
I'd want to see depends. I don't know. I've experienced Jay-Z in like a club, like a Baltimore soundstage.
Yeah.
And I've seen him at the Coliseum. I've never seen him in a stadium. So I wonder what that stadium experience would be like. Yeah, just like because he's not the greatest like stage performer.
Yeah.
Like, but he has hits.
What is the top dollar amount you would pay
to see Jay-Z?
To see any of those people? I mean, Nirvana or to see Prince or whatever. Like, where do you draw the line? I feel like with artists that are like dead, it's a hard thing to determine because you kind of feel like this can't really see them ever again, and you know that. So it's like you might like for Taylor Swift, like you're assuming you'll be able to see her again. Like you're assuming this isn't the last time,
right? I'd say maybe at the most, and money's not an object. I'd say maybe $1,200-$1,300 per ticket.
Okay.
Just like I got to do this before I die. Like this is on my bucket list.
Yeah,
at maybe $1,500 at the most.
But like Jay-Z comes out, he's gonna do a stadium tour. He's gonna read like Top Down, whatever your favorite album was or something. You're feeling like okay, all right, I got to get out there. I got to make this happen.
He's 50, so I don't know. I gotta.
So you're gonna go in and you're gonna a healthy 1,500.
Yeah. For if and this is
okay.
But for me, I want to be like VIP. I want to be like down on the floor. And
is that relatively normal though? Like, do you think? No. So here's the thing: I don't shop big shows like that. I just never have. The Taylor Swift thing is the biggest show I've ever shopped.
Right.
So I got a whole new perspective on like ticket prices. God bless to all those out there that are still trying to hunt those down.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. It's a tough scene out there. I didn't realize. Didn't know. I didn't know. I thought these stadiums had a lot of seats. That's what I thought.
Yeah. But
a lot of seats and
you could easily make
also
a nice
multiple
price.
nights.
Yeah.
Multiple nights. She rolled out originally she like announced her schedule and there was just like one night in all these places. And then she basically was like, all right, I'll stay for 2 nights, 3 nights. Because she basically doesn't play during the week and then she does like a show Monday or Friday night. And then now it's like Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night.
Right.
Like in Philly, she was doing one show on Friday and then she came back and was like, so many people have been asking for codes because they can like kind of assess on the front end, like based upon how many people are like applying for the codes,
Right.
and what presale are going to look like. So she came back and like added 2 dates to like most of her stops. So in God, what is it? Lincoln Field or whatever it's called? In Philly,
Lincoln Financial.
Yeah, they say 70,000 people. I think.
I mean,
70,000 people.
I wonder what her cut
So you're going to
is.
sell out 3 nights, 70,000 people,
What's her cut?
and people are paying. I mean, God, $450 at like minimum a ticket, probably $450, $500 a ticket at minimum. Like those are nosebleed seats.
That's
insane.
That's an insane amount of
That's
money.
insane.
I mean, it almost, and you kind of wonder, it's got to be intentional to a certain extent, the fact that she's not touring more.
not because
Because
it
if you
creates
just,
that demand.
if you take time off, you don't have to tour as much, but you can make just as much.
Yeah. I think like acts like Taylor Swift, Rihanna, Beyonce, Drake. Well, Drake's always on tour.
I was going to say, I feel like he plays a lot.
He's really.
He plays a lot, but
He doesn't do a lot of like big tours.
But Drake
like
might
headlines,
command a $450 ticket.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I can see. I don't know because he's doing a show in New York like soon. I want to say like first week of December. I want to say it's at Webster.
Yes, it is.
It is.
No. His New York show's at the Apollo.
At the Apollo. And Apollo doesn't hold that many people.
No.
It's gonna,
think
it's
so.
gonna be real tight, and I don't think tickets are even like crazy. So he does stuff like that. You're not catching. Like, Rihanna's not doing that. Taylor Swift's not doing that. Beyonce's definitely not doing that.
Well, in the music community, it's been documented that like Swifty's the one.
Oh,
like, no, she when it comes to touring and her and Bad Bunny
Is wild.
He's like the new guy.
Is weird.
He's like
Bad Bunny is
weird out
going
there.
I've never listened to an album and enjoyed it from front to back and didn't understand a word.
Jeez.
It's completely in Spanish and it sounds amazing. Like musically, it sounds amazing. I've never heard an album like
He's
that.
selling out stadiums.
And he's selling out stadiums.
80,000 plus.
People can't even
soccer stadiums.
they can't even comprehend what he's saying. Like you gotta like Google Translate the lyrics and like I got a few Spanish friends in New York and they're like they live and die. They're like, yo, Bad Bunny is it, and I'm like, you guys knew about him like years ago, and they were like on him, and like now like the general public, and he's like now one of the biggest artists in the world. And he's another like him, like he's selling out soccer stadiums.
It's wild times.
Crazy.
Dude. Wild times.
Soccer stadiums are fucking massive.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not a big fan of stadium shows.
Yeah. I don't know what that looks like.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of work. There's logistics involved.
Because I just
There's
think
so much work on the front end and then on the back end to get out. Like 70,000 people.
I couldn't imagine. I remember when was Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake came here and they did M&T Bank Stadium. And I just couldn't imagine, like, getting to a Ravens game and getting out is bonkers.
Dicey.
It can go one or two ways. Either you get there late and you get right in, and then you got to leave early to get out. There's no getting there on time and getting in with that crowd, and there's no leaving when it's directly over and getting out with that crowd. Like, you're going to be trampled to death. Like, it's just not. So I couldn't imagine it not just being a Ravens game. Now it's a sellout seating with just everybody and their fucking mother going to see, this act. I don't know. You're right. It's too much. My anxiety would be through the roof.
Yeah. It's wild. It's wild. And they're putting people on the field.
Yeah. TV on the field.
Yeah. It's more than a game. Can't put that many people at a game.
Yeah. You're sitting in a little folder.
Now, I guess they don't
wrestling chair.
necessarily have full 360 of the stadium, which is maybe the difference. I bet you it all nets out.
Yeah.
No,
Because you can't, like the stage, can't put people behind it.
So they're not performing in the middle of the field, right? Like the Super Bowl.
It depends
Oh,
on
the Super Bowl?
No, like I said,
depends
like
on-
the Super Bowl
it
when they
depends on
perform in the
state.
middle.
Yes.
It depends on stadium setup.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they do like arenas, they'll do they'll take the basketball floor out and they'll put
Yeah,
it
yeah,
directly
yeah.
in the middle, and then just have that back quarter
You're right.
Yeah.
gone.
Right.
She's playing on the field.
Yeah, this is nuts.
Like I'm sure you're not gonna be like on the grass. I'm sure they'll have something down, I would think. I don't know. But there'll be, stages on, because like floor seats are like a thing. Anyway, neither here nor there. Moving on. All right. Back to Maker's Mark French Oaked. Thoughts? A little initial, you've been sipping on it for a second there.
Very good. It's got it's a nice, sweet, syrupy, aromatic flavor. Maker's Mark is just, like a classic. It's a classic, man. You can't go wrong. So yeah, I'm thumbs up.
Yeah,
over
it's
here.
definitely a little sweeter.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever done Maker's Mark.
No, I don't think so. This is the first one on the show.
We
Definitely
try
a
to steer
little on
away
the
from the
sweeter
name
side.
brands, unless we just don't have,
But it's got a good taste. It's a little sharp. It's not like the smoothest,
Yeah.
I would say.
I think that I like that.
It's not super smooth.
I don't like too much of a bite, like that cheap shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like this is, I'm good with that.
All right.
Sometimes I like to know that I'm drinking alcohol. I don't like too smooth.
Yeah. It's like a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Very good. I'll keep thinking on it and we'll come back to it. But so far I'm all right with it.
I'm fine. I am out. I'm
miserable.
A-okay.
All right. Isaiah.
Yeah.
Man in the chair.
Man in the chair this week.
Let's talk notes here.
Josh
what
took
do we have?
more PTO.
All right, man. First thing we got up is James Cameron and $600 million mark for Avatar.
Is that what they're shooting for?
So no, so they're 600 million in on The Way of Water.
They're not getting that.
They're
back.
600 million in, and he has in a recent interview basically said that beyond the only thing that's guaranteed essentially as of right now is the third one. That the fourth and fifth one, he's going to bail on those should it bomb. So hard to imagine that it's going to recoup more than 600 million, which
That's like saying I'm going to divorce my wife if she gets fat. Like,
is a lot of cash.
like he's just not.
They've got like 300 into production and like I think 300 in marketing. There might be a little bit more in marketing, but
I think this is his disclaimer to be like, yeah, I'm out, like regardless, because he knows it's not gonna.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't
know.
I think this shit is gonna bomb.
I do too. I keep saying this. The
This
last
shit's
time
gonna bomb.
the last time we said that it was going to bomb, somebody wrote us on YouTube and was like, "You guys are crazy."
This is
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that this movie is going to be trash.
They were like, "It's going to be."
Now, I
the
won't
last
say-
one was amazing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say the movie
this
is
one's
gonna,
gonna be
be
great.
bad.
No, you saw the preview, and I saw the trailer.
Trailers are
on
deceiving.
Sunday.
You saw the. I saw it when I went to see Wakanda.
Yeah.
Did we get a plot?
No, I
No.
think I said we talked about this last time, an episode or two ago when they
Yeah.
had put the trailer out that it was not.
They're not
it
selling
was not
the
a
movie.
great
Yeah.
trailer.
No.
But he swears. So there's another piece on the notes for this week about the runtime. It's 3 hours and 10 minutes. So it's a half hour longer than Avatar, the first one. And he claims, James Cameron, that is,
Mr.
claims
Cameron.
that this one excels in the areas where the first one essentially did not. So like the story and the plot and the characters and all of those things are going to be of a higher caliber, if you will. In contrast, but like the first one was very much something to look at, but not really breaking any new ground from a story perspective or
I thought the story was okay.
characters. I wasn't upset about the story. I thought it was fine. I don't think every movie has to be a revelation of storytelling. I think you can have
They went with,
very straightforward
they went with a
stories
story
that are good.
can't miss.
Yeah.
It was very like kind of fill in the blanks, color by numbers. There's nothing that happened in the Avatar story that was,
It was the hero's
groundbreaking.
journey with some sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah.
Like
the technology and what you were watching on screen, the cinematography and all of that, that's what was the showstopper.
Yeah.
That's what brought you in. That's what you cared about. But I don't know, again, and we've harped on this many times before, there's really very little evidence to suggest that the sequel is going to build upon that in a meaningful way or in a way that's going to net you $1 billion, which is essentially what it has to make at this point to really be a smashing success.
I'm just concerned because for Disney to be behind this and for it to be James Cameron, it's very lacking. It's lacking in kind of all aspects of what you would think you would put into such a grandiose film.
Yeah, I really want to know where the marketing money went.
Yeah.
I'm always
real
so
marketing.
surprised by how much money is spent on marketing and how relatively little marketing there seems to be. Or, it's a month away from today, actually. It's the 16th. So it comes out, I think, on December 16th. So we're a month out.
McDonald's toys.
Very little from the market. I mean, there's trailers, and I know they've done.
The trailer tells us nothing.
They did some light show with drones recently.
Where was that?
Did that? It might have been New York or something like that. I saw some clips of it. I didn't fully invest myself in it, but they did some stuff like that, but nothing major. Not that I've seen.
I'm starting to get the sense that Disney is really listen, Marvel and Star Wars are really our cash cows right now. So we're going to put this out and you got to prove yourself. You got to prove to us that, that this is going to make us money. And then we'll double down on it.
Yeah.
I think the
timeline is so odd to me.
Yeah, they're really banking on the people that that went and saw the first one to come back.
2009 to now.
I'm a different person.
Such a gap. I
didn't even have a beard in 2009.
I could really see Avatar becoming a huge thing, a Lord of the Rings, a massive franchise.
Absolutely.
If you were rolling those out on a consistent basis, if you were keeping the audience, sustained with content, but then to kind of pull the rug out on them for a decade or more and then expect everybody to just pony back up.
And I think a lot of that is James Cameron's fault too.
Maybe it could be. I just don't know what they've been doing for so long. It makes no sense. I don't get it. But anyway, we're 600 million in. We'll see what happens. We're 30 days out.
They got to make 600 million back just to break even,
yes.
Which means this has to be $1 billion film.
Yeah, correct.
We're not doing that. I will put. I'm a betting man.
Maverick did it, so it's not.
Unlikely.
It's not impossible post-COVID. I would have argued that post-COVID, those types of numbers were never possible again.
Yeah.
Maverick did it. So it's not impossible, but it seems like there's less probability of it happening.
Yeah,
more so now than ever.
And that's TC to GOAT.
Yeah.
That's TC.
That's true.
Everybody's going to pay to see TC.
That's very true.
I can't even tell you who's in this movie. I don't remember the people's names besides Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's very fair.
The guy, there's the guy in it, and then there's Zoe. She's the chick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not paying. They don't do the draw for me.
Yeah, not a big star value.
Yeah, there's no star power.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah. We're still.
I don't see them breaking even.
Still giving them a hard time.
If anything, they may break even, and I don't know. They may pull the wool over our eyes. This shit may come out and be fucking incredible, and it may just kind of escalate like Top Gun did.
Maybe.
And word of mouth will spread and say, yo, you gotta go see it.
I don't know. 310 feels like a lot to me. But all right. Next piece. Moving on through.
We got Indiana Jones.
Oh, the TV show.
Yeah.
So
for Disney Plus, right?
Disney Plus is gearing up for the Indiana Jones.
I'm with that.
TV show. I'm for it.
Absolutely.
Sounds great.
Yep.
There were some recent reports coming out about the new Indiana Jones movie. I don't know if you saw this.
No.
But apparently they've been having some internal screenings, some test screenings, and it has not been going well.
Oof.
Apparently it's been very dark days.
Oof.
They've tested a couple of different endings in it. According to the reports, it's been bombing. So that's obviously a huge disappointment. It seems like it's not an ending issue, but maybe more of a movie as a whole problem.
Who's directing it?
TBD. Oh God, James Mangold, I think it is. The guy that did Logan.
And he's great.
I want to say Mangold is right.
Mangold. Yeah.
Mangold.
I know who exactly you're talking about.
The guy that did Logan. I want to say
I thought Logan was awesome.
Right.
So
but
I hope he's not trying to make Indiana Jones too dark.
Too odd.
Yeah.
Taking it in a weird direction like he did Logan.
Yeah.
Which paid off
worked, but
here we are.
I don't know if that's Indiana Jones is high action and witty comedy.
Yeah.
Which that's their niche, you know, these real one-liners.
It's tough. There's not many people that do that super well anymore, though. No. I'd argue that type of movie, the National Treasure, that like the Mummy, that kind of thing. There's not many people out there doing that anymore. It's kind of come and gone.
They might have got the wrong guy.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, Mangold was the
perfect.
James
I just
Mangold.
want to make sure I was right on that. All right. So we're here for Indiana Jones, the TV show on Disney Plus. TBD on who would pick up the reins.
Any word of like what that is going to look like? Is it like a off?
No, I didn't see anything in the article other than that they're going to go ahead and I think move forward with it. I think the movie was supposed to set up perhaps whatever. It was going to kind of filter into whatever was going to happen on the show, perhaps. But I don't know. There's maybe those plans will change.
I wouldn't mind like a prequel show, man. I would love to see like
a young Indiana.
I mean, he was Harrison Ford was relatively young when they started the franchise in 74? I want to say is the first Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that'd be a while ago. Yeah, it could be.
I want to see like how he got to that point. Like, why is this guy going to seek him out?
Yeah. I get that.
To bring him back into this world.
I get that.
And then we're there for 5 movies.
So, all right. What is next on our list of things?
Man in the chair.
We got Margot Robbie in her Pirates of the Caribbean saga.
Oh, the Pirates kind of reboot with
we talked about this,
the ladies Pirates
a few episodes ago, and we were like, it kind of meshed with when the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp shit was going on, and Disney was saying they were going to move forward with that script with Margot Robbie spinoff. I don't know if she was actually going to take over the mantle of Jack Sparrow or whatever.
Yeah,
but she came out and just said it's over. Like it's
not
over, but
there hasn't been any movement on it. I would wager that. They were probably trying to figure out what was happening with Johnny Depp.
Yep.
And now that the dust has settled on that,
I don't like that.
I feel like there have been some reports that Johnny Depp has been a little bit more willing or interested in kind of playing nice with Disney, because for a while he'd kind of sworn them off given their stance on the whole situation. But, I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about it. I like Johnny Depp as that character. I think he should continue to play it as long as he wants to probably play it. I mean, assuming that, obviously I think the trial thing is played out in favor of Johnny Depp. So I think as long as he wants to play the character, I think that he's, probably well suited for it. It's a bummer to see the Margot Robbie thing lose
its legs.
I think that would have been a really fun take on Pirates. I think she'd have been a really great addition to
she's a great actress,
kind of, world. So I don't know. I think, who knows? I think that there probably are still some scripts that are in play and they're probably still kicking some ideas around. Obviously she knows better than I do. So I'm not going to say that she's making stuff up, but I would say, who knows? It could come back around.
She has here, we had an idea that we were developing for a while, ages ago, to have more of a female-led cast. Not totally female-led, but a different kind of story.
Yeah.
We thought it would be really cool, but I guess they don't want it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, JD's back. I mean, he beat the trial. Well, not beat. He won the trial. And in the court of law, that's the precedence of how we see people. You know, and when you've been, this is America, so it's always guilty until proven innocent. And he's been proven innocent So now in the public eye, he can kind of walk back out of that dusk of shame and be who he was before all of this happened.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sucks for Margot because, low-key kind of was interested to see what that would look like. But I'm also like, I love Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. So like, I don't.
Maybe they're waiting to see like what the fan reaction is. Like if people are bummed and the Margot Robbie thing gets legs and gets news, maybe they'll get that back
Somebody
on
has
track.
to have their pulse on that.
Yeah. Who knows? All right. Moving on from Pirates.
So, Gran Turismo.
Oh,
begins filming.
yeah. The Gran Turismo. You played the video game, I'm assuming?
did you?
Yeah, it's kind of a classic. I've not played any of the more recent ones, if I'm being honest.
That was a big one. Need for Speed.
Yeah.
And then there was a third one.
Midnight Club.
Damn, that's right. Yeah. So those were great.
Very good games. But the Gran Turismo movie is kicking off. They just started filming. Neil Blomkamp is directing, and I believe David Harbour is from Stranger Things, if I'm saying his name right. He's in it. I don't know what his role is or what his character is, but he is in that.
If it's what I think, like in vein of the video game, I really think it could be what Fast and the Furious got away from. Right? You remember like the first one, it was like about the cars and like stealing the parts and like.
Yeah, but there's not really like theft in Gran Turismo, is there?
No, but it's like
it's not like a crime story.
No. It's about modding the car. Like in what I don't know what they're gonna do with the cars.
It's like a refined version.
Yeah.
Of Fast and the Furious. Yeah, like a James Bond meets Fast and the Furious.
It could be that. It could be rather than like.
Who knows? I mean, I don't ever remember there being any kind of narrative in Gran Turismo.
No, I think it was just racist.
Like races. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see, man. It's kind of, you can do whatever you want with it.
I would love like a high mob style like take on like Fast and the Furious.
I feel like we're not going to get crime stuff in it though. I feel like that's kind of not really like core to the game in any way.
It's going to be a hero story.
I feel like it's going to be more about racing than anything.
You got to build this car.
Yeah.
This was my dad's car.
And then in keeping with Gran Turismo news, Gears of War is in development at Netflix, and there's actually an animated series in development and a film.
Is Dave Bautista involved in it?
So he came out and told Netflix that he wants to be involved.
Yeah, I saw a lot of
he's a big Gears of War
images
guy.
of him in like the gear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he wants to be involved in whatever ultimately comes to fruition.
Could be his franchise. But I can see it.
Maybe. I don't know, and I don't want to dog Dave Bautista anymore. I don't know if he's a leading man. I've not seen him in anything that has really been like, he can't, I don't know if he can carry a franchise.
Army of the Dead? Was that what it was on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a movie.
Oh, you mean like
I'm talking about carrying like Gears of War, obviously a major tentpole film. They're probably hoping that will have legs beyond just one, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen him in a lot of things and he's always very good, but is he a leading man? Like, can he take a franchise and carry it forward? I mean, is he a Vin Diesel? Is he is he The Rock? Is he Harrison Ford?
I think he's been around long enough that the name is familiar.
I know, but his character.
Like
I've never seen him really behave in a way that's like,
I'm the guy for this. Like
he always kind of plays one kind of dimensional things. Like I've never really seen him as like a.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I don't.
The most interesting or the most funny and the most like charismatic maybe has been Guardians. But even that, it's kind of like very silly slapstick in a sense.
That was, and then I think on the heels of that, he was in something about a hotel for like gangsters or some shit like that.
I don't know. He was in Blade Runner.
He was in that.
The new Blade Runner.
But that was
same deal.
Cameo. Yeah.
Not like
he's always kind of an offshoot character. Yeah. He's never like the.
Can he be a leading man in a franchise or carry the weight of that? Because Gears of War obviously is going to be a major movie for them.
It needs a military muscle guy. Like I think he can do it.
I think he can do it. I don't know if I've seen him be like a.
I don't think it's going to be breathtaking.
Charismatic leader.
Yeah,
type of person
based off of a video game. I think I think that's the safeness in it.
Yeah.
People just want to see action.
Sure.
And him being like an action guy.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Then
that makes sense.
I think he doesn't have to really lean into any acting chops. I think
that makes sense.
If a building blows up behind him, he jumps like 10 feet. He shoots like 3 people in a montage.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be fun.
I'm with you. Yeah. All right. There it is.
Man.
Moving on past Gears of War.
We got a half-baked too.
Going right through this. Going right through this. I was really surprised by this news.
Yeah.
Apparently, I feel like I read that it was already made. They already had filmed it or produced it, but there's no Dave Chappelle and the other guy. I can't remember his name. He's not.
Yeah. Are they not attached to it at all?
They're not in it, period. There's no.
So there's a lot of resurgence of the cult classic right now, right?
Yeah. We've talked about this before.
Yeah. There was a House Party has gotten a new one.
Yeah.
Which it's not the same type of aesthetic. And then like the other night, I was just like down on the couch and I'm just chilling, talking to my wife. And she's like, I got this movie playing in the background. And it's got like this comedian, I think it's DC Young Fly. He's on Nick Cannon's show, that sketch show. And
Nick Cannon's also been in the news.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about him. I got feelings about that, but and come to find out, what I hit the info button.
Yeah,
it's fucking How High 2. I was like, how did yeah. So I'm like, we're seeing a lot of, I don't want to say low budget attachments to classics.
This is low budget.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be very low budget. Well, Half Baked was low budget.
Well, they're just trying to make money off the name at this point, right? So if you can make something for stupid cheap, you know that you're going to get a certain amount of people that are going to rewatch. They're going to watch it just based on the name.
Yeah.
So there's value in that, I suppose, but I wouldn't expect it to be very good, especially because you're pulling everybody that was
good
away, and they're not in it. You know?
Yeah. All right.
So, we'll talk about Nick.
Oh yeah, sure. You want to talk about Nick?
He's having like a kid every week.
Yeah, he's pretty outspoken about that though. I think he's kind of got that bug. He likes to have kids.
I don't know.
He likes to really build the flock.
It's very medieval, where you just have kids and just I
guess he's called to it. I suppose.
I've heard a few different takes on it, and my personal take on it is people have kids, okay? And I don't, but I just don't feel like kicking out a kid. I mean, you got money, you can do what you want, absolutely. I just don't feel like kicking out a kid like every other month or so. You're not able to really
be a dad,
provide that fatherly presence when you got that many, that close.
Yeah, it's hard to have it's hard to have relationships with everybody.
Especially because they're not by the same parent.
And then they're not by the same person.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of ladies involved.
And then my wife was telling me like one of the girls was on Instagram saying like she hasn't slept since she's had the kid. And then, in the comments, people were like, you have a kid by a millionaire and you don't have any help. Stuff like that. So
what do we think Nick Cannon's worth is? Can we look up Nick Cannon's worth?
He's very wealthy.
He's very rich.
But how so?
He was like
how did he come upon this wealth? Because the last I checked, he was doing wasn't he doing that show for a while?
Well,
this TV show, Wild and Out.
Well, the thing about Wild and Out is
let's talk about
he
that.
owns all the EP or IP to Wild and Out. So
MTV
owns none of it.
The reruns are just stacking him cash. Okay.
And he has a lot of Nickelodeon money.
Yeah, his mother really leaned into the business of him being in TV.
Yeah.
So he was like one of the first young black presidents of Nickelodeon at one point. He was like under 25 years old.
Okay.
So he's in the business. Like when we say people who grow up in Hollywood, he's one of the ones who really leaned into the relationships and being
okay. So he's in deep.
He's in deep in Hollywood. He might have an Illuminati.
We got a net worth on Nick Cannon.
His alleged net worth is $20 million, but I just don't believe that.
20 million?
20 million. I just don't believe that.
That seems low. If we Google search this, are we getting other figures or is that the most consistent?
This is from celebritynetworth.com.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
$20 million. But that for him to have this many kids, that just seems too low. And for him to be attached for all the
Is it though?
But he's always actively working.
How many kids does he have? 12?
Yeah, I think it's like 12.
I feel like if you have $20 million, you can raise 12 kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Give them
with
good
all the
lives.
things that he's attached to.
Our great grandparents did it on
Less.
$400 a year.
Yeah, so I feel like the 20 million is not what's holding him back from more kids.
I've also read some very, very interesting
But 20
Twitter
million's
threads
low.
on like what's happening here. Like, he has like an illness. He has like
I think
lupus or something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He has lupus, and I think he's dying.
And
Oh, wow.
there's
This really took a turn.
yeah, they said, I don't know who they is. In the thread, someone was saying that part of the reason he's doing this is because if one of these children is a genetic match for him for I think the disease affects his kidneys,
No.
then he can
take the kidney?
he can't take it, but
You're telling me that Nick Cannon is trying to reproduce kids so that he can harvest their organs
this is what I read. I'm not saying that.
and live on. That's the theory.
What you think?
I don't know. I don't know. Is that scientifically
if
possible?
That's the case. I need to see the movie immediately.
Can you get a kidney that fast from a kid?
I don't know.
What's the minimum age for kidney donation?
Listen, again, I say this all the time. I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
How old let's Google this.
But
How
it kinda
old do you
seems
have to
like-
be to donate an organ?
Yeah, I would imagine these kids have to be of age.
Yeah,
and I
you
think
have to be 18, 16? Like how old
Right.
do you have to be to give up your kidney?
And I think at this point in the game, he's like,
Maybe there's a loophole. If it's family, there's no age.
oh no, you can't take a.
You're the one that brought this conspiracy theory up.
18.
18. So you have to be 18. Okay.
So by that point, if his disease gets worse,
Seems like he's playing a long game
he's
right
playing
now.
the long game. Like, let me just get out all these kids. And if I get older and my health gets whack,
This is a wild theory.
I don't know.
my
Also,
gosh.
he's making, back to the net worth thing.
Yeah.
He's making not 20 million, $5 million per season of The Masked Singer.
Yeah, killing it.
So,
Yeah, but his net worth is...
that
I mean, he might have a lot of output, though. He's got a lot of families.
He's got a lot of kids.
He's got a lot of families. He's got a lot of houses. He's got a lot of cars. He's definitely outputting more than the average guy. That's for sure. Even like the average really wealthy guy.
Yeah.
He's outputting more.
What does Mariah think of all this?
I don't know. All right, next on the
Yeah, we can
list,
move on.
we can move on from harvesting child organs.
You make it sound so fucking.
You brought this up. I didn't bring it up.
I'm just stating what I read. I didn't say I believe it.
I'm over here thinking he just wants to have a lot of kids and repopulate the earth. You're over here telling me he's
There's a
harvesting.
darker
He's
side to
harvesting
it.
his children's organs.
darker criminal link.
Yeah.
So next we got Ralph
Oh, Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes?
Will be
This
back
is
as Lord Voldemort.
Yeah, Voldemort. Yeah.
If
Lord
called upon.
Voldemort. Yeah, he's
That's his
down.
character.
He's coming back.
Yeah, he's
very
is.
excited.
Yeah.
Very excited to come back. Apparently,
What
there's. Oh no! I was just gonna say there's some talks that there might be some more HP on the way. Some more.
That's
Harry
what I was about to
Potter.
ask. Like, what is he coming back in though?
TBD. J.K. Rowlings has recently insinuated that there could be some more things developing beyond the Fantastic Beasts, which apparently I read today is in limbo a little bit because there's 4 and 5 on that series, and they
don't need that.
the last one like barely broke even. So I think they're probably backing out on those. I think they've kind of lost their steam a little bit. I don't know why, but those never really connected with me that much.
They
know
don't
what that
have the
was.
direct correlation to Harry Potter like people thought. Like they thought they were gonna like link right into. They were gonna from there it was gonna go right into like what was going on with Harry Potter, and it kind of just stands alone. Like it's more of the lore of what Harry walked into, and not.
Yeah. And you know what else was weird? I feel like because it wasn't about kids, it loses a little bit of like the fun aspect. Like I felt like it was about like all adult characters.
It's too whimsical,
and
it's all
I
adult.
get it. We're all adults, and like I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of adults are like, what kind of like prop up Harry Potter at this stage in the game, but they weren't when it started, right? Like everybody that I know that's like diehard Harry Potter people, like they started when they were kids.
Yeah.
Children. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what was like part of the fun for them.
And I think what they didn't do a good job of was they made a series that was family friendly to an extent, but the things that are occurring, they're trying to make very adult themes very digestible for a non-adult audience.
Oh yeah, for
the
sure.
The fact that Dumbledore is struggling with the fact that he is having to battle and kill his gay betrothed over a blood pact, and trying to make that acceptable and not even acceptable,
digestible for children.
Yeah. That's interesting.
It's very masked.
That's a good call.
I don't know, man. It just doesn't hit for me. Like every time I was like watching it, I just was like, this is just not entertaining to me. Like, and my wife like forced herself to get through it because she's a big Harry Potter person.
Yeah.
And she was like falling asleep.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It took her like 4 or 5
connect.
times to finish it.
Doesn't connect.
Yeah.
All right. Got to be nearing this list.
One last
Before
thing.
I'm sorry, but I would like to see if they're going to lean into Voldemort. I wouldn't mind like a Maleficent type Voldemort movie. Let's talk about how he got here.
Maybe. I think that's a hard sell, though.
Because technically we know how.
So.
I mean, I know the movie.
We know how we got there because in the second movie,
it kind
tells
of
us
really,
pretty explicitly how.
Yeah, you can't really.
Mr. Riddle
I think it's
got to Lord Voldemort. But it would be interesting to kind of see things from a Voldemortian
perspective,
side of view, but you kind of get that in Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
You know where the ideology comes from.
You could bring them back, man. If you could get some of the original cast back, if not all of them, get everybody back. Let's have some fun. They've got kids now at this stage in the game.
Yeah,
they're
that's
little,
true.
They're little wizards.
Give it the Hook treatment.
Yeah, let's get, I don't know.
You have Harry's son fight Lord Voldemort.
Or we find Harry and he's fucking depressed.
Yeah, because those
alcoholic.
characters we're all invested in that, right?
Em, you a Harry Potter person?
What's up?
Hi.
Welcome.
I bought him that shirt.
We've never seen you show up before.
Welcome to the
I had
day.
a half day at work today.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
But
You just interrupted our Harry Potter conversation.
We're not.
I asked if you're a Harry Potter person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think anybody our age.
She's a big Harry Potter fan.
I'm not. No. I missed it.
so how do you feel about Voldemort coming back for something new that JK has going on? Possibly, maybe.
This is the first time I've heard of that.
Oh.
She's not that into it, but I'll tell you what she is into. Apparently, Nick Cannon is having all of these kids
Yeah.
so that he can harvest their organs and rebuild himself and live on. He apparently is very sick, right?
Yes,
He's got he has
lupus.
an
I want to say
illness.
it's lupus. Yeah, he got lupus.
He's got lupus.
But also not the worst idea.
And apparently that's the
Wait,
ongoing
wait.
I'm not
wait.
crazy. I listen. I didn't. This is not my theory. I read this somewhere.
Oh, I thought this was like that.
No, this is a theory that he brought to the table. We started talking about Nick Cannon just in his,
There was a post.
Really, I actually like this.
Emily is signing off on this idea. She says that this
approves.
is a good idea. We thought it was a little dark.
No, it's dark
But-
in the sense of like, you need your liver to live, so if you like, that's
Yeah.
more fatal. But like, it's like, hey, can I have a kidney so I can keep living? Like,
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
He's having kids
But you know,
just to
you
get a
can
kidney.
build body parts already with like stem cell research, so I don't know.
I don't know how expensive
Now
that is.
we're talking
and
science.
He's only worth 20 mil.
Harvesting organs from your children is expensive.
We're talking science.
I also imagine there's a lot of lawsuits that would surround it.
I mean, they're your kids. Who's gonna see you?
I don't know. That ends up in court.
All right. I think that rounds out our list for the day.
We got one more thing.
Oh, there's one more thing.
Yeah, will Mamoa play Lobo?
Oh, you added this.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was all gibberish. I don't even know
with
what we're talking
with the
about.
James Gunn and Saffron announcement, Jason Momoa got very excited and has been talking to the press about them. There's a special project that James Gunn is working on. Of course, all the projects are special.
Yeah.
But he's like, now this can finally happen. And there's been a lot of speculation that now, prior to him being cast as Aquaman, he was in the running to play Lobo.
Okay.
And now that Gunn is here,
That's coming back, is what we're thinking.
this project is resurfacing with Momoa's name attached to it. And it kind of raises speculation like, can he play two characters in the same universe,
Yeah.
in the same cinematic
take me back a little
realm.
bit. This character Lobo.
Yeah.
All right.
He is a intergalactic bounty hunter.
But he's not a main character in the DC universe.
He's not a main character, but he's a fan favorite, much like Deadpool.
Okay, so I say he's out.
You think he's out to do it?
No, I think that the Lobo thing's not happening. Not right now.
No.
DC's going to be way too focused on getting their like phase 1 in line. They don't want to worry about that.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice thing. He might get it someday. Or maybe it's like an HBO thing, but I don't think it happens right away.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if he claims the title now, then I feel like, you know, when they go to make it, he probably has to get a first shot.
He's got to walk away from Aquaman, though, unless it's like a...
But maybe that's already in the works. Who cares? Aquaman's kind of on the rocks as is.
Kind of stinks.
Anyway. All right. Watch list. So my watch list was pretty modest this week. I've been really busy. I've not gotten much in, so that's good. That's good. Although I did finish minus 20 minutes of an episode. I did finish The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power.
You finished
I did get through that. And here's what I'll say. Much better on the back half. The action picks up
on the back end.
End, and it's definitely more interesting. The first 3-4 episodes, they're slow, doing a lot of world building, if you will. But that kind of is par for the course with.
I passively watched the back end over my wife's shoulder.
Yeah.
And I keep calling her my wife, Chanel's shoulder. And what I was seeing was much better than the early stuff. It was very political, a lot of talking.
When the orcs kind of get into the mix and like fighting, they become more like relevant in the episodes, and you know those conflicts really start to kind of pick up. That's when it starts to get good. That's when it starts to get good. So
was it tough?
Tough?
Yeah, for you to get through it?
So I watched a couple of episodes on a flight back and forth. Right. So I kind of had no other option, which is nice because you're kind of forced to focus on it and you're really like, you know.
You don't sleep on the plane?
No.
Why?
No, I'm too tall, man.
Oh, sorry about that.
Way too tall. There's no way.
I take half a Xanax and a shot of tequila. I'm stretched out.
That's good for you. Good for you. I don't know.
Wake me up when we get there.
I might be too stressed out if I did that.
Why?
I don't know.
That's what
I can kind of go either way on a flight. Sometimes I'm like real locked in and I'm real good, but other times, like if I drink too much coffee, I can get real weird. It's happened before. Like I'll be excited and I'll have like 1 or 2 drinks. Then I'm like, oh, this feels amazing. And then the plane goes to land and I'm like holding.
You're like,
I'm like real ill. It's a balance. It can go either way.
I like asking people what their flight perspective is because flying is at this stage in evolution and very much a part of our existence. But I don't think the aviation industry has really advanced much. Airplanes are still the same as they were when I was a little kid.
That's true. That's true. There are some bougier planes out there.
There are. Yeah.
I've been on a few. I fly a lot of Southwest. All right.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm just these entry level experiences. I've done Spirit. Southwest is right above that.
You did Spirit?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. Spirit. Here's the thing about Spirit. When Spirit first came out, there was something kind of fun and exciting about it because it was like the Wild West all over again. There was, you never knew. Like you could buy all these kinds of things. You could not buy these kinds of things. Everything had a dollar amount, but at the same time, it was super, super cheap and it was all different. I remember that being fun.
Did they do the raffle for who's going to fly the first leg of the plane?
No.
First leg of the flight?
No, but I would willingly do it.
Yeah, I was joking, but they would. I feel like that's some shit Spirit.
I think, and I don't even know if Spirit is like around anymore. It had like its moment where like everybody was super excited about them.
They bought Frontier.
Oh, so they're growing. Yeah. Oh, that's good. They had all kinds of like weird little like party snack packs and things. Remember they had like little buzz balls, like these little like alcoholic mixers that you could buy. There was like a whole thing. They were trying. I
was terrified.
Trying to get everybody all excited.
I just heard too many horror stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have flown them 3 or 4 times. I think I've always had a relatively good experience, if I'm being honest. But
you got to pay for everything that you get kind of standard with like a regular.
Yes, but if you can fly, like, if you fly light or if it's just you or you're taking a carry-on or whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Like you can get in and out for pretty cheap if you want.
You frequent back and forth to Florida. So like a $200 trip round trip to Florida on Spirit. You're just taking your backpack. It's easy. Yeah,
Easy.
That makes sense.
But Southwest is, again, a little bit more elevated above that, right? Your 2 bags fly for free, which is nice. If you're going to check, you're going on vacation, you want that. The prices are reasonable. They're not obviously as low as Spirit. I mean, Spirit, you're paying for everything. You're bringing a backpack, it's $20. It's like whatever. But the ticket is like $49. So by the time it all adds up or whatever, right? But anyway.
Southwest can get kind of dicey sometimes too.
Yeah, I've had pretty good luck with Southwest recently, but those planes are not all that rad. They're kind of low key. They have Wi-Fi, so you got to bring your own device. But Emily and I, we did some international travel over the summer.
Did y'all take Emirates?
And no. No. We did a JetBlue flight.
JetBlue has always been.
We did a Delta flight.
I love Delta.
And I'm just telling you, there's a whole different world out there.
Yeah.
There's an experience to be had. International travel, though, is a little different. I think you get like meals and whatnot. But if you could bring some of that into regional flights, that'd be rad. Yeah. I don't know why I can't. Like, if I want to fly from here to, Florida, Tennessee, Austin, whatever the case might be, why can't I get a little meal? Why can't I prepay?
Why can't I get a soft pretzel?
Yeah, why do I got to get a little snack pack? Why can't I just get a little entree? I'll upgrade.
I believe that's a first class treatment.
I don't know if it is though.
I don't think they're getting it either.
I don't think they're getting.
They're just getting space.
Entrees.
They're getting blankets and a pillow.
Yeah, and then they get offered drinks on the front end.
Yeah, that's it.
They're not.
I've flown first class a few times.
They're not getting full on. And it
wasn't like I just could do this.
Yeah,
and
that's a lot.
I had a pillow.
That's a lot of economy. Be able to wiggle your legs.
I mean, I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'7", so even in a regular chair, I can still kind of stick my feet all the way under the person in front of me and still not even.
No, see, if I put my feet all the way down, I kick the ankles of the people.
See, yeah, I'm not even doing that.
Yeah, I'm I'm touching feet.
You gotta do first class, or you gotta go all the way to the back.
Well, Southwest doesn't have first class.
No.
Also, I'm flying to Florida, guys. I'm not. It's a 2-hour flight max. Yeah. I don't need. You know what I mean? Yeah. First class. Calm down, guys. Right. I appreciate it though.
Well, how did we get here?
You don't need a meal.
But I would
but the meal's a nice thing to not have to think about.
Yeah, but it costs them money.
No, but what I'm saying is no, you're not listening. Because what I'm saying is, what if I was willing to pay for it? Like, what if when I bought my ticket, they were like, "Would you like a meal option?" And it was like $20, and I could just be like, "Oh, yeah, I'll take a little."
It costs them money to have those available.
Not if I'm paying for it.
What if?
Preservatives, how they need to keep it. They can't just have a meal they're gonna throw out there. So.
Why doesn't? But if I'm paying for it up front, they should know.
That's what I'm saying.
To
hope and dreams.
Get with their sister company, Panera Bread.
Yes.
To have my turkey sandwich,
a bread bowl and soup,
my broccoli and cheddar soup. Halfway through my flight because I know this is
my cinnamon crunch bagel with cream cheese.
There you go.
Oh yes.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
Why is I don't know what you can have alcohol on these fucking flights.
Yeah.
But
why can't I get a sandwich?
Why can't I get a BLT?
I do think alcohol's easier, but maybe that's just me.
Let me get a little charcuterie board in a box to go.
Yeah.
All I get is
Hickory Farms.
All I get is this small bag of 5 pretzels.
Yeah, exactly.
And nuts.
I'm just saying we could elevate the experience a little bit, even if it was at the cost of the flyer. That's all that I'm saying.
I wish Josh was here. Bring on the DJ.
Oh my God.
Bring the DJs and
put the smoke
trucks.
machine.
I have flown on planes with Josh. That's a time, dude.
You have what?
Yeah, I've flown with Josh on planes, and that's.
I feel like
he is really big into planes. He almost got his pilot's license. He was studying for it for a long time. He's super into aviation, and he knows how everything works. So he can explain everything to you as they're going through it, all the processes that they're going through, all the sounds that you hear underneath, and all the wind ups and all the weird things. He knows what they all are, and he's telling you. He can walk you through all the processes.
Well,
I'm gonna find a whiskey festival for us to go to.
It's
just
wild.
for the experience.
Outside of him being probably one of the smartest people I know in my life, he knows a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
So for him to know an extensive amount about something is very telling of how much he likes it.
Your confidence on a plane really goes up when you're with him.
With a person that knows that.
Yeah. If they need a pilot, we can figure it out if Josh is here. That's kind of the perspective that I always have.
Would you co-pilot if
it's going to be a bumpy ride, but he'll know what these knobs are. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't mind
he'll
that
know what
movie.
the knobs do.
I would love that movie where Josh has to land the plane.
has to land the plane.
Josh. Taylor, put on your seatbelt.
All right.
He said, listen, man, it's just like my Tesla.
Love is Blind season 3. Have you watched any of that? That's out. That's new.
haven't
Nick
gotten
Lachey
to
is
it.
back. Those are some of our most successful episodes, man.
I know.
And you're not even.
Well, I had a
dialed
bad
in.
week. I told you, man. I haven't really gotten to watch anything new. I ain't got to watch anything at all besides with that one new thing on my watch list.
Oh my gosh, dude. We totally skipped. We're going to come back to Love is Blind. You got to watch some of that, though. It's not that great of a season, but you've got to get through it. I have a couple of episodes left. Emily seems
heard
to
it wasn't
like
that
it.
great.
I don't think it's that great. I've not. Huh? Love is Blind season 3. I don't feel like the drama's there.
Because it's so, like, disastrous.
I heard they're leaning into the campiness of
Yeah, for
how
sure.
fast the
I feel
people
like
have to
they
hook up.
choose really stable
Yeah.
All right. I got to finish Love is Blind. You're going to finish Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Or you're going to start it.
Yeah, I'll start. Actually,
And we'll talk more about it.
my wife gets back tomorrow,
Because
and I'll start it tonight.
I have to finish it.
While
I've
I
seen
lay in
3/4
bed
of it.
alone. So yeah.
Not stoked on it. But we're going to skip everything else on the watch list because none of it's really that relevant at this point in time. Aside from you went and saw Wakanda.
Forever.
Latin Panther.
Is that why you're smiling?
Latin Panther,
right.
yes.
You
Yeah.
went and saw Wakanda.
Yeah.
Wakanda Forever.
Now,
Now, I've not seen it,
I'm not going to spoil it.
so don't spoil
It's still
it.
very fresh.
I think it's got an 84% on Rotten.
Yeah.
And
Pretty good to watch.
Black Panther got 96, I believe. So I think it's actually the highest rated Marvel film of all time is Black Panther. So now we're on the sequel.
Very surprised at how I can stand on this hill and say it was a great movie.
Okay.
Very surprised at how well Ryan Coogler was able to put together a movie about a character that no longer exists and the tragedy that develops after their passing. It did a lot of telling a story through a story. It did a very great job of, Black Panther, the first one, did a really awesome job of leaning into African culture and kind of telling the story, like with the tribes, and like it was very much real life influenced. And they did a lot of that with Namor, who is the villain, and his ancestry. They changed a lot from the comic books, but the origin is different, but the lore is still there.
Kind of from the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for them to be able to mesh those two cultures really done very, very well. I was very, very surprised. Namor was just incredible. He was just, he killed it. I'm trying to give you this without spoiling it.
So you would say it's worth going to the theater
absolutely.
for? Yeah. All right.
If all of the movies that I've seen that have come out in 2022, that have come out in theaters that I have seen, that I went to see, were worth it.
Yeah.
Was it the Batman came out in 2022?
Yep.
Top Gun, Wakanda Forever.
Okay. So this kind of reigns supreme.
Yeah, they're up. Those. I mean, I don't think there's anything else that can kind of rival.
And then in the Marvel world, last best thing since
Doctor Strange came out. I went and saw that, and I could have waited.
But Spider-Man was probably the last.
Oh yeah,
best
and
thing.
Spider-Man.
That's probably the last like best thing.
Yeah,
you would say. So this is probably the best thing since then.
Best thing since Spider-Man.
Yeah. Okay. The transition into like whatever the future of Black Panther is, or the new Black Panther, if you will. You felt pretty good about that. Thought that was pretty well done.
I think at this point, it's not really spoiling who the Black Panther is. You can tell me to stop.
I don't know who the new Black Panther is.
All right. So
I know that it's in the trailer that they reveal that it's a woman.
It is a woman. I can kind of leave it at that. If you want to dig deeper, this transition does happen in the comic books.
Okay.
And it's done differently here. In the comic books, T'Challa is like wounded like very, very badly and just cannot protect Wakanda. So it transitions into another Black Panther.
Yeah.
And, they kind of use that same element of storytelling here. But what they did was the tribute to Chadwick within the movie and using his real life death to allow the actors the space to actively grieve about him passing.
Yeah.
It was very much life imitating art, imitating life. Okay. There's a word for that, and I can't say
It's called realism.
No, it's called like anti-dim something.
It's called that. Well, the artistic term for that would be
look up the philosophical interpretation of life imitates art, because I was writing a review for Black Panther and it's called anti something something. I can't remember what it's called, but yes, it definitely doesn't start with an R. But it was, yeah, man. You
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Worth a watch. Worth
out of 10.
Worth a theater experience. Where'd you go to see it?
Where'd I go? Owings Mills. Late show, nobody there. It was
theater experience was okay.
Yeah, they renovated Owings Mills. It's an AMC theater.
Yeah.
There's a bar. Going to late. I mean, there's teenagers running.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I could have just walked right in, never bought a ticket. Nobody would even know.
Any good trailers in the front end? I know you said Avatar was on there.
Yeah. So Jonathan Majors was in like
he's on
3 movies back to back.
Really?
Creed 3, Ant-Man 3, and this new one, Devotion, where he's a pilot.
Yeah.
Literally those 3 movies.
Okay.
I'm like,
and Avatar.
And an Avatar. It was 4 trailers. I think that's it. Yeah.
All right.
An Avatar. And
but nothing big and beyond that.
No. And we so I don't know if you got these trailers, but I did. We got the Super Mario Brothers trailer.
Yes, which was
quick.
It's
but that was a teaser, wasn't it?
It's the same one.
Yeah, same one. And we also got the Dungeons and Dragons trailer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's rad.
I didn't get that one.
You didn't get that one?
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to catch up on our watch lists this week and get our acts together because I've been all over the place.
Same.
But otherwise, yeah, that's it. Episode 40 or no, not 40,
39.
39. Jeez, my God.
Next week is the big celebration.
Yeah,
what are we going to do? We're going
big
to do something fun.
40. Yeah, I don't know, man.
The receding hairline episode.
Yeah.
When you get 40 years old and get a gut.
That's right.
Yeah.
Emily can cut my hair, so.
Can we dress like old men?
Yeah.
For that episode?
Yeah, let's do a Jackass thing where we dress up as old men.
Can you do our like prosthetics and makeup, man?
Do a little bit, probably not what you're looking for.
I'll wear a sweater vest.
Yeah.
If you bring me prosthetics.
The lack of commitment here. I'm not really trusting in it. All right, very good. Until next time.
Later.